Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and this is our weekly TV news show where we talk about renewals, cancellations, premiere dates, shows in development, pilots, and apparently now Apple and Disney every week. So, you can look forward to the rest of the show.
It's the circle of streaming services.
Joe, what's really interesting actually is I was asked this earlier this week about the possibility of there being too many services with too many shows, and that leading to us being having to be stricter in what's covered, because ultimately there's going to be so much competition between. And right now it doesn't seem so bad, but there's the potential that eventually that Amazon might catch up with Netflix and putting out content like every other week that is interesting.
It's one thing we've already had to at times go. We haven't got the time to fit this into our schedule, even recently, right?
If you're looking for the Tick season 2, that is why it's not there, is because we've got too much other content that we're doing.
We had other Netflix and Amazon shows at the same time, and
yep. So
something had to give. So when we start adding Disney and Apple to that, yeah, it's inevitable.
Choices have to be made, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's hard to say what type of content we want to cover from these networks right now, because Disney's a kind of a weird wild card in the sense that, well, we've got a big section later on for it, so I don't want to get into specifics right now, but there's a lot of things in there that I could see us like trying and not really been into, and then there's at least a couple of things where you might be really into it, but I wouldn't necessarily give a shit. And then after that, you're left with almost nothing.
That reminds me, I need to get up some details for my defense.
Your defense?
Oh, I'm going to need defense later on. I can sense it.
For what?
You're going to give shit about some things, and I want to have facts at the ready.
Later on, my opinions are not going to really be about the shows themselves. I don't really, I'm here to report things in development.
Yeah, that's all you ever do, isn't it? You never have opinions on shows.
But find me one clip. So.
Like everything we've ever recorded on this channel.
We are going to talk about news, yes. So we'll start off with some kind of a cancellation. Preacher is going to end with season 4. They announced that season 4 is going to be the final season, but it sounds like they knew that going in, so cancellation is maybe a harsh term for it. But
sure.
That's launching on August 8th. It's the final season, so look forward to that. Although apparently they're only like a third of the way through the books in terms of possible storylines. So
it feels more like a cancellation than it
yes.
maybe is. Yeah.
I would argue if Connor puts his phone away somewhere.
Do you know what? It was resting on top of my TV remote, so it was all rubbered, so it wasn't going off, because it's been going off for all the time we were doing our last recording, and it was fine. And then my TV decided it was going to turn off, so I moved it to turn it on, to stop it doing that, and then my phone decided to buzz again. Stupid prick.
15 seconds of an explanation instead of just doing it.
Well, I resent the implication that I was, letting it happen.
A tit? Yes, you're a tit. Right. So Preacher's coming August 8th, final season. We got some renewals. Speaking of stuff we're doing on Amazon, Hannah got renewed for season 2, and they confirmed it's coming in 2020. We're only 3 episodes in right now, admittedly. We're going kind of slow, but we finished the OA on Netflix, so that should be speeding up a little bit. Episode 4 will be coming soon. So
that's the plan.
Look forward to that. So that's good. We've been enjoying that show, so I'm happy it got renewed.
Yeah.
Barry got renewed for season 3 at HBO. Which I know people have been enjoying. We've not checked it out, but people have been loving it. And then cool. Future Man got renewed for its 3rd and final season at Hulu. Again, I've not seen any of that, but I know some people were into it. I remember some people asking us if we'd check it out back when it started.
The sitcom-y one?
I don't know enough about it to answer that with any confidence.
Okay.
So I think it's more comedic. I don't know if I'd say sitcom-y, but it's definitely comedic.
That may be where I'm getting it from in my memory.
Yeah, so that's your renewals, and then for premiere dates, this one comes with a trailer, this first one. Netflix show Chambers is coming on April 26th, that is the premiere date. Uma Thurman's in this, and it is a show about a girl who gets a heart transplant, and it seems like the girl she got it from was in a cult or something.
Yeah.
Some sort of satanic family, and weird things start happening because she's got this girl's heart in her. What did you think of the trailer?
I think it looks kind of terrible, to be honest with you.
I thought it looked okay to begin with. Like early on, there was just this sort of like horror music playing, and I was like, okay, that seems okay.
It was really generic horror music, though.
And then it started halfway through, kind of diving more into this the family, the source of the heart, and the actual things happening where she's acting out. It might be fun bad. It's hard to tell at this juncture based on just the trailer.
Yeah, it's something I said when I first heard the premise. It always sounds like the old the amputated hand, right? And you get a hand transplant, and it's got the mind of its own, and it's a murderer's hand. It's that, just with they're taking it seriously. I don't know. It just looks awful to me.
I don't know if it's. I mean, I don't think it looks good. I think once the trailer got going, I was definitely not into it. But I mean, we'll probably still try the first episode.
We'll see on the day.
No, we can do episode 1 of Chambers. If we could do episode 1 of Black Summer, more on that later, we can do episode 1 of Chambers.
Yeah, but Black Summer had a better trailer than this did. Like a lot better trailer.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Black Summer didn't look terrible in its trailer. We both agreed that like 3 weeks ago when we saw it.
I don't think this looked terrible though. At least not all the way through. It looked a bit more terrible in the last third. The last third of the trailer was pretty rough looking.
The problem is when you've got 8-10 episodes of content, and you can't give me a 2-minute trailer that isn't terrible all the way through. That's not a good sign.
No, that's a false equivalency. No. You're saying that as if trailers, because 2 minutes, you can't find 2 minutes of good footage. No, you can cut an entirely bad trailer for something that's good. You can cut an entirely good trailer for something that's entirely bad. You know this, so stop.
I do. It looked terrible. Sorry.
That didn't Man of Steel had good trailers, so shut up.
Yeah.
And what had bad trailers? There's definitely stuff that's had bad trailers.
There is, and I can think of examples, but I'm not going to give you any.
Your Next was a bad trailer, but the movie was great. So
I don't remember the trailer, so I can't give you that one.
Yeah, well, the lesson to take from this is that Connor was wrong. All right.
I don't think that's right.
Connor was wrong. Lucifer season 4 is coming on May 8th on Netflix. Remember, Netflix picked this up after it got cancelled on Fox. Notably, they announced this exactly 666 hours before the old premiere.
Of course they did.
Because I know you're thinking, May 8th, is that a little bit early to announce that for Netflix? It's because they wanted to hit that number.
You say that, that's only like a month away.
True.
Not even, right?
True. Still, though. They picked 666. Someone did the math.
So someone did that on purpose, yeah.
That's the thing. So that's coming in May. Obviously, we've not been covering that show, so we won't be doing anything with it, but
it exists.
Some of you may care. 4 Weddings and a Funeral's got a premiere date at Hulu. This is the Mindy Kaling version of
I forgot this existed.
Yeah, this is coming July 31st on Hulu. And then also, speaking of Hulu, we have the Veronica Mars reboot coming on July 26th.
Yeah, good luck getting through all that before that.
I mean, I only really need to watch the one season in the movie to catch up.
Will you, though?
If I see demand, if people want me to review the last season of Veronica Mars...
I've never seen any of it, so...
Connor's not doing it, but if you want me to review the new season, make your desires be known, and it might motivate me to catch up. All right. So that was all the premiere dates and what have you.
Yes.
So I've actually structured the news a little bit differently this week.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because we had a Disney press conference, and there's so much Disney Plus stuff that it just made sense to put all the Disney Plus stuff in the same section, regardless of what our usual format is.
Alright, fine, I'll lay off.
I see, you couldn't say shit. So
shut up.
Right, so we start off with a couple of just casting things, and then we go to the Disney Plus section, and then after that we do other new shows. So that's the plan. So Jake Gyllenhaal is going to star and executive produce in a limited series at HBO, based on the Gary Steingart novel. I have to really think about that. Steingart novel, Lake Success. It's in development at HBO. It'll be a limited series, and it'll mark Gyllenhaal's first leading role in a TV show. In the series, a narcissistic, self-deluded, and hilariously divorced from the real-world hedge fund manager Barry Cohen flees his family, his past, and the SEC on a cross-country bus ride in search of his college girlfriend and a last chance at romantic redemption. Meanwhile, back in Manhattan, his brilliant wife Seema struggles to raise their autistic son and begins a tragicomic love affair of her own. Do you know what's weird about that? Is that it says romantic redemption in the first half, so it makes it sound like I want to be rooting for him, and it's like, meanwhile, his wife. I'm like, wait, are they divorced? Because I mean, it says he's divorced from the real world, but it doesn't say anything about being divorced from the wife.
Yeah,
and his son's sick, or well, not sick, but autistic. Like, that makes him look like a douche. But it
does look a bit of a dick, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, I don't know, but interesting. And then a bit of casting for Westworld Season 3. So we're getting news on Westworld Season 3. Lena Waithe is going to be on Season 3. Unspecified role, but I thought it was worth mentioning. I just like the idea we're getting Westworld news now. And more importantly, though, they did confirm it's not coming until 2020. So no Better Call Saul and no Westworld this year.
This year's shit.
And, let's be honest, like... How much do we believe Mr. Robot's going to be on TV by the end of the year?
I don't. I actively don't.
You don't? Okay. So we may not have Mr. Robot either. On the upside, the top 10 shows of the year might be filled with new shows because all the big heavy hitters from the last couple of years aren't coming on.
It's going to have Stranger Things.
That's true. Stranger Things is there, and Handmaid's Tale's coming back, so I mean that'll probably end up there.
What else have we got returning big shows? I mean... Expanse.
Oh yeah, Expanse is confirmed this year. And to be fair, that did get #1 last year, so that's important.
It's in with a good shot.
That's important. Alright, so we're going to the Disney Plus section then. So Disney Plus, they had a whole conference. Disney Plus is launching this November 12th at $6.99, and then it's going to expand gradually over the next couple of years around the world. I think there was a leaked graph somewhere on Twitter, like someone, like it wasn't like a public thing, but they had a graph up of like when parts of the world can expect it. But basically by 2021, they're expecting to be launched basically everywhere and have X millions of
the only reason, because Disney could afford to launch worldwide if they really wanted to.
Licenses.
They got to wait for deals to expire, or at least enough of it.
Yeah, they've got deals in various territories to have their content to go to certain places. They're just waiting for those to run out, I assume.
Yeah, they don't need to wait for everything to run out, but they need enough to launch.
Yeah, so I assume that's what they're doing, which is fine, whatever. But yeah, $6.99 is actually kind of a talking point. That's like much cheaper than Netflix.
It's a good price, yeah.
They said they're expecting like 33%. Oh, that's not. They said a third. I don't know why I'm going to percentages, but they said 33%. They expect in a couple of years' time will be US and 2/3 will be international. That's their expectation in terms of subscribers.
I mean,
they said something
at that price point, I'm willing to pay.
I mean, if I need to review stuff on it. I mean, there's some stuff.
Enthusiasm.
There's some stuff I'm looking forward to more than others, but this is the thing with the Marvel shows. I feel like I might like them, I might not, but it's the sort of thing where if I don't like them, then this service immediately just kind of falls into oblivion.
Yeah, but I've got 3 Star Wars shows coming, so I'm hooked.
Okay, so here's the content. No, we talked about not all of the content, but they gave like descriptions of a bunch of it, and some of it they specifically specified as launch. Some they said will be first year kind of thing.
It's mostly stuff we've heard about before, but with a bit of a time scale on them.
But there was also more news about new shows that are getting added to the service later on in the week, and also from the same conference. So that'll be coming after. So the big section here. So don't worry that I've missed until I've said it's the end of the Disney Plus section. Don't assume I'm not getting to something, because I might have missed stuff, but there's a lot here. So First thing, High School Musical, the series.
Yeah, this is one that we knew was coming.
Hold on, actually. I've just noticed the title here. I am assuming this is a mistake. The actual way it's written out here is High School Musical, the series. That has to be a mistake.
I'm Googling it. Nope. Wikipedia, High School Musical, the series is an American mockumentary web television series.
All right,
Double colon.
10 episodes, scripted series set in the real-life East High, where the original movie was filmed, follows a group of students as they count down to opening night of the school's first ever production of High School Musical. So it's kind of a meta thing. They're doing like an office-style musical.
Yes.
Set in the school where they shot the movie, about the school doing a play, a musical play of the movie in a mockumentary style. This is so weird.
That sounds more interesting than anything else they could have ever done with High School Musical.
I don't know. I feel like if they said it's High School Musical, but there's a serial killer killing them off one by one. I'd have been into that. Or it's on a space station. I could have been into that.
Mockumentary is more interesting than the space station.
It depends how like self-aware and witty it is, but I can't say I'm feeling optimistic still.
I'm not particularly either.
Yes. There's a longer description, but yeah, let's be honest, we don't care.
No, we don't.
We don't really care. The Mandalorian, some Star Wars thing. Next up,
give it its due. Stop being a dick. This is a priority show for Disney.
Oh, as was mentioned, High School Musical, the series, is available at launch, as is The Mandalorian. The first ever live-action Star Wars series is written and executive produced by Emmy-nominated producer and actor Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, he's from.
And Rebels.
He's directing the first episode. It only says Clone Wars. I'm just saying what the article says.
I know, I'm just saying he show-ran Rebels as well.
The highly anticipated series, that's debatable, has an all-star cast including Pedro Pascal, Gina Carano, Carl Weathers, Giancarlo Esposito, Emily Swallow, Omid Abtahi, Werner Herzog, that's an interesting one.
I believe he's playing a villainous character.
Oh, good. Set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order, the series follows a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. Timing available at launch.
I like everything in that description. Like, they're going, do you know what? We're getting away from all the other stuff. We're just doing. They talk about how it's kind of a bit of a western. They're playing with the bounty hunter angle. They're doing that sort of stuff. They're like, they're making it all, they're doing all grimy, and I'm down.
Yeah. I'll try it. We'll see.
Even you can't be that about that description. Take out the word Star Wars, and it's like, yeah, okay.
I don't know. Do you know what it is? Because I saw the trailer for the game, right? The new game, Fallen Order, and that trailer to me reeked of like we're setting it between these two movies. It's a different pair of movies in this case. This is between 6 and 7, whereas that game's set between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But it reeked of like, okay, so we're going to have all this stuff, but none of this is ever going to be mentioned in the movies. It's never going to feel relevant. It's kind of like the Marvel TV shows where it never feels like it's actually important in the movie universe, even though technically it should have all happened.
I would have agreed with you before Solo happened. Now, say whatever you want about that movie, and I don't care about anyone's opinion. Quality is not the question here. The fact is
to its benefit.
That took a huge element from the Clone Wars, an animated TV show, and made it a thing, and made it was the equivalent of the end of the first Avengers. You got the Thanos tease.
Mm-hmm.
That was this moment in Solo. That's the way they played it, and that was from the animated show. So the game, maybe that won't get referenced. I'll give you that one. But I think the TV show is fair game.
Because they were talking about in the game how they got these new types of stormtroopers that are there for hunting down.
They're from the comics.
They're from the comics.
Yeah, Sol created them in his Vader run recently.
Yes. And you say that because what they actually said in the panel was that they kind of got him to set them up. It wasn't so much that At least from what it sounded like to me, it sounded like they actually wanted him to plant something in advance.
Maybe.
As opposed to him being the one who thought of it and then them taking that and putting it in the game.
Yeah, I believe they're called the Purge Troopers, and this is another. Yeah. This is another thing because the second sister is the villain in that game, and
Who's the first sister?
Brother, there's a whole bunch of them. There's brothers and sisters.
You said that as if I might know who the second sister is.
I'm getting to it.
All right.
The Inquisitors, as an organization, were established in Rebels. Then, in their earlier days, were part of that Vader run, and now that's translating to this game. It does actually feel like there is some cross-media integration here.
Okay. Question is will I care about any of this?
That's a fair question. I can't help you on that one.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it. I'll watch a pilot. We'll see how it
There's
goes.
a lot of good directors involved. So Filoni's doing the first one, but you got Taika Waititi, Bryce Dallas Howard's doing one, Rick Famuyiwa's doing one, Deborah Chow.
Yeah.
There are names there that are pretty recognizable.
I just, Star Wars. Like, I don't even think I've seen Episode 9. Like, I don't think I'm going to bother. And so, it's hard to sell me on a TV show where it's.
I know it is. I know.
Unless we get like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. situation where I end up liking it more than any of the movies.
Which is possible, because we all know I'm a fan of the Star Wars movies. But I'm on record as saying Rebels and Clone Wars are my favourite parts of Star Wars. The serialized nature of the TV show format is just better for the storytelling. So that's why I'm excited for this personally, is because I'm like, more TV stuff is that's what I want.
I mean, the thing this one has going for it is there's no Jedi.
No, none that we know of.
At least not as a main character. I mean, one might pop up at some point, but
possibly, yeah.
I don't know. Anytime I start talking about the Senate or the Jedi Council or the Force, I'm just kind of like
I would expect almost none of that in this show.
Yeah. Oh, right, Cat, come on. All right, let's deal with a Firefly situation. Speaking of Firefly, much better than Star Wars.
Don't even go there.
Hey, I didn't name my cat Star Wars, did I? No, so shut it.
Yes, because that's the objective, marker of which one's better. Which one did you name your cat after?
Yeah, who's back up, might I add. Can't cancel you. You'll always come back, won't you, Firefly? Yes. All right. This next up, we got Diary of a Female President. This is not a launch show. This is year one. So this is coming in the first.
Have we said when launch is? Yeah.
Yeah, November 12th.
Okay. I don't know if we brushed over that.
Let me just double check I've got the right date, because I was doing that from memory. Yeah, 12th.
November 12th is right. Yeah.
Alright, so Diary of a Female President, told from the narration of her diary, the series follows Cuban-American 12-year-old girl as she navigates the ups and downs of middle school and her journey to becoming a future president of the United States. We actually just spoke about this, I think, for the first time, like a couple of weeks ago. We did. Development just came up.
It sounds like a Disney Channel show, right? Mm-hmm. Makes sense. They're trying to get a lot of different audiences with this service, clearly, because you've got Star Wars shows, you've got Marvel shows, you've got Disney Channel shows.
Oh yeah, they showed an image of the app, and it was like Star Wars tab, Marvel tab, Pixar tab. It was like, here's our big branches.
It was a pretty decent UI from what I could see. Shit's all over Amazon Prime's UI.
Oh, Amazon Prime's terrible.
It's the worst.
I don't even like Netflix that much, though. I feel like sometimes Netflix is more obtuse because it wants to have this like tablet feel,
isn't it?
Yeah, you can just search for things, but for browsing, I don't think it's that fun to browse. It's kind of.
No, I agree. Sometimes you just want a list.
Anyway, so that's the thing that's coming year one. Also coming year one, the first of the Marvel shows is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which they're calling it. And they got a logo. You can check.
Yeah. I'd just like to say that the Mandalorian got a logo as well.
Oh my god!
Look, if you're gonna, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you'll mention it here.
I'm only mentioning because I saw it. I wasn't intentionally gimping the Mandalorian to chat.
Well, I'm just being fair and even.
I cracked my joke and I moved on. All right. So yeah, Anthony Mackie will return as Falcon. Sebastian Stan will reprise his role as Winter Soldier. That's all they really said about it. But this was the first official confirmation. No, those actors are coming. This is happening. Because even though we'd heard about all these, this technically all been,
unofficial.
Unofficial, yeah. They also said Loki, which Tom Hiddleston will reprise his role, is coming year 2. So,
and that was the only one which we'd had conflicting reports on actor. You know, it was like, will he be there, won't he? There was some back and forth on that one.
Yeah. Interesting to me that the plan right now seems to be... Oh, no, wait, actually. I was going to say something, but it's actually irrelevant. I'm going to skip one and go back to the one that I skipped, because WandaVision, for some reason, is further down. So they're calling the Scarlet Witch and Vision one WandaVision right now.
I really hope that gets renamed, because that is a terrible title.
I kind of love it. Now, let me explain this. No, let me explain this. I kind of love it. Imagine this has the tone of Mr. Miracle and like Tom King's Vision book. And imagine the logo is intentionally kind of cartoony, and it's like them in a TV set, like a classic tube TV, and it says WandaVision. There's a way in which this is a great title.
There is no way this is it's one word, WandaVision. It is terrible.
I kind of love it, and I think I love it because everyone hates it.
I was gonna say, you might be the only person I've seen to have any sort of reaction to this that wasn't what?
I saw that. It sounds cheesy as shit, and I love it. WandaVision. I'm going to champion this.
You are a terrible person.
WandaVision.
You are an utterly terrible human being.
Hey, let's look at that and understand what it means. What's a Mandalorian? I don't know.
No. I will not be baited. I will not be baited, sir.
Should I called it Fett Vision?
There is no official confirmation yet that he's playing Fett. They still won't tell us the damn character's name, which is leaving it open, but it's probably not.
Fett adjacent Vision.
I'll give you Fett adjacent.
Yes. So yeah, and that confirmed Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany. Which I'm actually, out of the three of them, I actually don't know which one I think Loki's the one I'm least excited for, just because I feel like I don't need any more Loki. Whereas the other characters, I feel like, because they were all like side characters in the movies, like I can see like Falcon Winter Solider, they had good chemistry whenever they've been together, so that makes me excited for that one. WandaVision, I kind of like the appeal of both those characters and the potential, but they didn't really get used to their full, whack in the movies.
It's funny because Loki's easily the one I'm most excited for. I hope they lean into the comics and just go full on like reinvent and change it up and go right new. By the end of like the first season, we're going
end up being the best
version
one
of Loki.
Just for my taste, it's the one that's the least exciting to me.
Yeah.
And there's another Marvel I want to talk about later, but that's not in the official list yet. So more on that in a bit.
Did we not talk about that last week?
No.
Was that really just this week?
Yes.
Right. Okay then. It's been a long week.
Yeah. But the one I skipped over there, for some reason they put like the other Star Wars show that they've got in this list, like in between the three Marvel shows. I don't know why. But the Untitled Cassian Andor series, Diego Luna will reprise his role as rebel spy Cassian Andor in the series set during the formative years of the rebellion prior to the events of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The rousing spy thriller will explore tales filled with espionage and daring missions to restore hope to a galaxy in the grip of a ruthless empire. Alan Tudyk was also confirmed to reprise his role as K2SO. On the show. So this is year 2, as is WandaVision is also year 2. So Loki and WandaVision are year 2, Winter Soldier, Falcon's year 1.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try and convince you on this one.
Because I hated this character, and I hated Rogue
No, I know
One,
you did.
So...
You're still doing the first episode because you can't help yourself. You want the numbers. I think Mandalorian has a fair shot of winning you over. This one doesn't. It's just going to be hate watching on your part, and that's going to be fun for me to.
Yeah,
to
I'm
make
probably going to hate the shit out of this. I think it's interesting for the Marvel series, just how they're spreading them out, because they're all limited series. None of those Marvel series are like expected to have seasons. They're all just, 8 to 10 episodes. That's it. And I think that's how they're getting around this and making them more tied into the movies. Because I think Feige's still involved, because Feige was there speaking on stage. I think they're just kind of treating it as a long movie.
Also, it's not part of Marvel TV then.
No, this is all under Feige. These stuff.
Right. Okay. Because that does change things a little bit.
And they said in one of the things, I read like several articles just to make sure I got a lot of different details, and one of them said, specifically about the Marvel shows, is that they will coalesce with the movies at some point. And I'm like, I genuinely think if we're going to do like, you know, either Falcon or Bucky becomes Captain America, I think, you know, that'll naturally not happen in the show. I don't think it'll happen here. That'll be in a movie, but like I think
you might get the continuation of that.
Yeah, I think like their relationship in this show will tie into eventually that happening for one of them, or maybe it'll already have happened or something. You know, whatever.
No, I'm with you.
So it also makes me maybe more convinced that Cap is dying in Endgame, because that's what the point of the show is, that those two are left together, kind of without him.
Sure,
I could see that being a thing. I don't know. We'll see. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll do a shock announcement
only a couple of weeks
and say Chris Evans is going to be in the show as well. Not as a big role because it's not his show, but
yeah,
you know, you'll be there to see them off at the start and maybe show up at the end or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
To do what they did with Fury in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Basically. So yeah, so you got Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Cassian Andor. So the Star Wars shows are expected to be shows, as in they've got seasons. So
that makes sense, yeah.
Presumably, after the second show launches, you'll have them sort of spread out. So you've got one maybe in the first half of the year, one in the second half of the year, kind of thing. But we'll see if we get any more. And then next up, here's one that I don't even think I knew about, is Forky asks a question. This is the last one they said. This is available at launch, this one.
This is not the last new show that they said.
What?
There's other new shows. Sorry, when you said that this is the last one they said, are you on about shows?
The ones that they specifically mentioned in this batch of just talking about when things are available, this is the last one they talked about.
Okay, I'm pretty sure there was another one. I'm just double checking, but carry on.
Forky from Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 4 is a craft project created from trash. Is a craft project created from trash, so he has important questions about how the world works, such as what is love? Baby, don't hurt me, no more. What is time? And of course, the deepest question of all, what is cheese? He explores all these questions and more in a 10-part in series of 10 shorts, which will be available at launch.
Right.
Hard to get excited for this because it's, you know, based on a character we've not seen yet.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, could be alright though.
Yeah. So we had a lot more Disney Plus news this week, though. It all came from around the same sort of stuff. The biggest one, obviously, being the other Marvel show. Well, there's actually two Marvel shows to talk about, but there's one that is much bigger than the other one, and that is Hawkeye. Hawkeye, in development right now, which reportedly will include Jeremy Renner, just in the same way that we heard about the other ones that would include the actors, which have all now been confirmed.
Yeah, this wasn't obviously this. We heard about this before this conference, this event, but they did not mention it there. But given that everything else was confirmed, I think it's fairly safe to assume this is true as well.
And potentially this might be the best one of the bunch if they do it properly.
I might agree.
Because so it's Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, who, despite being in the Avengers since the first Avengers movie, and yes, he had a cameo in Thor. I'm not forgetting that, but it was like one scene. Let it go. He's not necessarily had the chance to shine in the same way that a lot of the other characters have. He's not had the same amount of time to really develop his character. So it's a limited series, and the fact that he'll get more time is a good thing. But here's the other thing, that it specifically says that this is not speculation. This was with the reported news, as everything else is. The project will be is said to be an adventure series in which Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, will pass the torch to Kate Bishop. Bishop is a Marvel character who took up the Hawkeye mantle after Barton. She's also a member of the group known as the Young Avengers. Yes, I want Clint passing the torch to Kate, and give me a Kate who then goes into the movies, or hell, even gets her own TV show after this. This could be like a prequel show to
tie this in. You know how I was talking about Loki, maybe changing things up. One of the things that they did in the comics was at one point they killed Loki and had a kid Loki version. He reincarnated as a younger self, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that version, Kid Loki, was on the Young Avengers with Kate Bishop. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, go on, do that.
If they even get half the tone that the Fraction comic had, which was both Clint and Kate,
Hawkeyes.
Yes, the Hawkeyes. Well, no, Hawkeye and Hawkeye. That's how we differentiate.
Sure, but I think the show should just be called Hawkeyes.
If they call it Hawkeye, I will give them all the points.
Oh, I will give him points for that as well, to be fair.
Call it Hawkeye. And I want him to say he's good at boats. If he doesn't say I'm good at boats at some point, I'm going to be upset. And Pizza Dog needs to be there.
Pizza Dog?
Pizza Dog has to be there. And if this all leads to some sort of Young Avengers where we get Jeff the Landshark with Kate, I'm all for it. I would have totally cast Aubrey Plaza like 10 years ago. But obviously, she's a bit older now. So I think we need someone who's maybe more like 18. But
I agree, yeah.
But someone with that demeanour might not be terrible. Maybe a little bit more. And you think
very sassy and sarcastic.
Someone who might have not felt out of place on the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer is what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
And you know,
you're saying
you
that.
think I'm just saying that, but like, no, I kind of mean that. I'm thinking that's kind of her sense of humor, right?
Sure.
She's got
keep now the time.
She's got the read and speak.
She does a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So no, because I've actually read the comic that this might be based on, or at least partially kind of inspired by, and because I like Kate Bishop a lot, and I know the potential for Clint to have a great sense of humor, which is hinted at in the movies. You know, there's been the odd line here or there where Clint's, Renner's had a chance to really give it.
He's just not had much to do, has he? Though.
Yeah. So my hope here is this.
This is the only one that is clearly intentionally based on something specific, right? The others might end up being something specific, but it's a lot harder to pin down immediately what they're going to be.
I could see like Tom King's vision might play into the Division Scarlet Witch one, but it may also be classic material. It could be a mix of things. Falcon Winter Soldier, I feel like that could probably be taken from, like, let's say it is after Cap's death. It could be stuff from that period, right after his death.
Yeah.
From
that Brubaker stuff.
Yeah, the Brubaker stuff. So there's a lot of potential there.
There is, yeah.
And I've recently been enjoying that Winter Soldier miniseries we've been getting from Marvel. So
it's been pretty good.
I've been had a bit of a new appreciation for old Bucky. Yeah. So and then on Marvel show, animated show, which we did kind of know about, but they confirmed this one. What If? And I'm leaving off because there's some like behind the scenes like series they're going to do as well, but I've left those off of this discussion.
Yeah, we don't care about those.
Those are basically like Blu-ray extra features they're going to make for the service,
which is cool.
That's cool. That's totally cool.
Not what we're here to talk about.
Because the Criterion streaming service that just launched has all the Criterion Blu-ray extras with each movie, which is a really cool feature.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So What If, for anyone who doesn't know, is a thing that Marvel Comics do, where you go, what if this happened instead of this, and then you do a story based on that.
And they're going to be one-off specials. They're not going to be like, I think, like launching as a set like other stuff is. The first one's going to be what if Peggy got the serum instead of Steve, so she's going to be Captain America. So that's going to be the first one. So I assume this will be 25-30 minutes animated.
Probably.
But
yeah,
that sounds cool. It's a cool, fun little artistic experiment, if nothing else.
Yeah, I wonder how they release them. Do they release them just here's one, or are they gonna?
I think they might
wait till they're finished.
It's the sort of thing they could release just like maybe like 4 specials a year. Every few months there's a new What If.
Yeah, they could do.
They could do. Yeah, I could see it.
Kind of take the almost the short trek approach.
Yeah. Also worth mentioning, obviously they'll have all the Marvel stuff on the service. I think they also said that all Star Wars content of like all kinds will be on the service by the end of 2020 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure their plan is to have everything on there as soon as they realistically can.
Yeah, I assume there's just maybe like licenses to run out on 1 or 2 things. Maybe.
Yeah, it just won't renew them.
Yeah, which is fair, and Marvel will be the same. And interestingly, all the Fox X-Men movies will be on there probably, which is really weird to think about.
Yeah, and all of the Simpsons.
And I actually have that coming up. Yeah, Simpsons exclusive VOD home now is going to be Disney Plus.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Do you know what I hope, actually? Because they did mention in the news at some point, just in passing one of the interviews, they said, "Oh, we totally plan to do more Alien and Predator movies." And obviously, I'm more invested in that side of their universe. I feel like I'm more invested in what they got from Fox than I am most of their actual Disney properties, which is fine. But I'm curious if eventually, if they make enough of that stuff, if that'll get its own tab, they'll do like a.
Maybe they don't want like. We know they don't want anything like R-rated or anything like that.
That's true. It could go Hulu instead. Maybe that'll be on a Hulu tab. Because I could see them totally revamping Hulu to match the Disney Plus sort of look, but it'll just be
Nah, they could do, yeah.
Because there's a bit of news actually on a thing in a minute. But next up, they're developing a Sandlot TV show. The Sandlot is a baseball movie that came out in 1993. Director David Mickey Evans is going to be working on the show. It takes place in 1984, focusing on the kids of the original characters, because the original took place in 1962. The idea was it was like they were adults, and it was like thinking back to this one summer where all this cool stuff happened. And they're playing baseball and running from a dog named the Beast. I actually quite like this movie. I grew up on this.
I've never seen it, but
anything I know about baseball basically comes from this movie. Like,
means you probably know more about baseball than me.
Basically, they all make fun of one of the main character who just moves to this new town. They all make fun of him because he doesn't know who Babe Ruth is, and I related to that watching it because I was with him. I'm like, who's Babe Ruth? I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you kind of know now.
You've picked up over time, yeah, but that's definitely where I learned that. I learned who Babe Ruth was from that.
I would not be able to tell you definitively where I learned that. It's just something that has seeped into my consciousness at some point.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think we heard about this. I think we heard about them doing a prequel thing at some point, and that seems to be dead, I think, because this is not a prequel. This is
a sequel.
This is the kids of the adults from the first movie. So,
yeah.
It's an interesting thing to like go back to and say, hey, we're going to do this.
It's weird. A lot of it sounds kind of like almost like a remake.
So it's more of a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Which is weird that they're actually going to like pay attention, at least in some extent, to continuity. I guess it's easy when it's only one movie.
It reminds me of like the old, direct-to-video sequels that were just the same movie again with a different cast.
Yeah. But this bit I think have more weight to it because original directors there. That obviously I feel like Disney are probably going to treat everything like it's not just throwaway direct-to-video content. They're going to give it some. Of course,
I didn't mean in terms of quality. I just meant in terms of the feeling I get from the concept.
What I think is interesting, actually, is that it's set in 1984, and the first one was very much nostalgic for summers in the 50s, so I think it's interesting that the new one will be nostalgic for summers in the 80s.
We don't have enough of that right now, do we?
Which brings in, hey, I'll take it. I'll take 80s nostalgia. I love it.
Such a mark for this.
And I was only born in 89, it's not like I remember the 80s. I wasn't around in the 80s. I just like the 80s.
Well, it's probably because you didn't have to live in the 80s.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's more mystique about it because I wasn't there, but
yeah,
that's what it is. Well, we're still in the Disney Plus section, but if you're watching the video version and you're noticing, hey, those two look like they're wearing different clothes, that's weird. It's also weird that this didn't go out until like Tuesday.
There's a good reason for that, although Pete will not think it's a good reason.
It's not a good reason because Connor basically said we have to stop recording because Game of Thrones is coming on. That's what happened yesterday. But it's especially not a good reason for you at home because there's no Game of Thrones reviews happening because Matt couldn't make the reviews. So, like, you benefit in no way.
But I think that people will respect the need to watch Game of Thrones. And also, there's a little tiny part of me that is like, yeah, but Pete hates Game of Thrones, so that makes it even better.
I'll be on my side, just you wait. But yeah, we're still talking about Disney Plus shows, Disney Plus announcements.
Oh God, it's like it never ends.
I know. So there's going to be a Monsters Inc. TV show. There's going to be.
Yeah, that was one of the first rumored things that we heard about.
Yeah, but we've got a title now. They've confirmed that the cast are coming back, or at least the two main leads.
Yeah.
But they've also more further on that. They've confirmed the main character is going to be Tyler Tuskman, who's voiced by Ben Feldman. It's called Monsters at Work, and Tyler Tuskman is an eager and talented young mechanic in the Monsters Inc. facilities team who dreams of working his way up to the factory laugh floor to become a jokester alongside his idols Mike and Sully. Crystal and Goodman will reprise their roles. It's slated to premiere in 2020. So
that's cool.
So that's still year one technically, unless it's right at the end of the year. So
well, yeah, I mean, but it's safe to assume year one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Monsters Inc. films. Do you know what's funny? Actually, I realized that like a lot of people never say Monsters Inc. Like everyone I've ever known has said Monsters Inc. But whenever I hear in an interview, it's always Monsters Incorporated. They always say the full thing.
Really?
And I'm like, am I being weird only saying Inc? Maybe I'm.
No, I've only ever said Inc.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a regional thing. I don't know. But
that's so weird. I've never heard anyone say the full thing.
Yeah. So yeah, Monsters at Work. Yeah, it's cool. I
Yeah.
don't know if I care enough to watch it, but I like the first movie a lot.
I'm gonna have the service anyway.
True.
I'll probably try it.
True, because you're a slave to Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up, there's another show they're developing based on a movie, Love, Simon, the movie that came out just last year, I think.
I was gonna say, it was recent.
Yeah, which was directed by Greg Berlanti. It was his
yes.
film.
That's why I knew what it was.
Directorial debut. Well, that was actually part
of course, he's turning it into TV.
Well, no, he's not involved in this because he's under an overall deal at Warner Brothers, so he can't be involved in this because this movie was Fox. Was it Fox 2000 or no? Fox Searchlight, not 2000. Fox 2000. The one they just shut down, right? So, but they're turning it into a TV show, and Berlanti can't be involved because he's got a TV deal with Warner's, so he's out of this.
It's fine. He's got enough shows. He's still holding a record.
He does. He has like 20 shows on air or something stupid like that at this point. So, Love, Simon, of course, was a seminal LGBTQ film, and the TV adaptation. There's not really much talk about what the plot is, but they have got, they've not got. They're eyeing up showrunners from This Is Us, Isaac Apatow and Elizabeth Berger. So that gives you a sense, maybe the tone they're going for.
Yeah. Is this kind of like a remake, retelling, or is it a sequel?
It doesn't say that specifically. I wonder. I would expect retelling. There's nothing about like bringing the original cast back, so I would think retelling. Maybe they'll go the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer route and have kind of the film kind of happened in continuity.
It's a pseudo sequel,
but like it doesn't matter if you've not seen it, and it doesn't really matter that it did or didn't.
Yeah, it could be. Just a thought. Usually, when you get these scenarios, they tend to specify what the situation is.
And then next up, I had The Simpsons being exclusive on Disney Plus for streaming rights, but we mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
So then the final thing about Disney Plus, although this is more to do with Hulu, is that one of the shows being developed for Disney Plus is moving to Hulu.
It's too edgy for them.
High Fidelity, sort of based on the movie from the 90s. The 10 plus series starring Zoe Kravitz is going to be moved to Hulu. It's worth mentioning that since the Fox deal went through, Disney now owns 60% of Hulu, so they own the majority.
Therefore, so they do whatever they want.
Yeah, I'm going back to my earlier prediction. I genuinely think they might like redesign it all to look exactly like Disney Plus. It's the adult version.
Just sister services. Yeah.
I could totally see that. So yeah, worth mentioning.
Do you think stuff like Runaways moves over to Disney Plus?
That's a good question because that is PG-13, right? There's nothing in that that's
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that could do. I wouldn't surprise me if they did that.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to, but I could see why they would want to.
Yeah, put it with the rest of the family. Yeah, I can see that. So there you go. We're finally out at Disney Plus, and we can move on to some other things. Do you like Walking Dead, Connor?
Oh, I do.
Did you love Fear the Walking Dead?
I definitely watched at least an episode of that.
Are you ready for show number 3?
Yeah.
So, Walking Dead, the third show's in development, and it's worth mentioning. I think the first series is on like season 9 right now. Fear the Walking Dead is going to season 5, I think, or just had season 5.
I would like to point out I didn't even get through 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, let alone 3 shows.
That's fair. So they're apparently working on this, and they want to debut it in 2020. The idea being that they will basically have Walking Dead on all year round between the 3 shows, more or less. All they've said in this article is that the series is going to focus around 2 female protagonists, young female protagonists. I actually read elsewhere, though, probably the more interesting part of the premise, which seems to be a thing, to separate it from the other shows, is that these 2 protagonists are of the generation that doesn't remember life before the zombie apocalypse. So they were born either after the zombie apocalypse started, or they were so young when it started that they don't remember life before it. So that's kind of the hook of this third zombie show.
I mean, at least it has a hook beyond just, do you want more Walking Dead? Because I wouldn't have been surprised if that's all it was.
I mean, fair play to AMC. They've got a cash cow and they're milking it dry. Like, they know what they're doing.
It's bringing them in money, isn't it? So I can't.
They've had to fight off so many lawsuits based on this show as well, and it's still financially a good idea for them to keep making more shows. So.
Yeah. Like, I don't like it. I'm no interest in watching it. But from a business perspective, yeah, you keep doing it, AMC. It's working for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch any of them. I'm done.
Yeah.
But
clearly enough people are watching them that they don't care that we're not.
And I like good zombie movies. This is the thing. I wanted to love Walking Dead. It just got really bad.
It did. But God damn, it's still one of the best pilots ever.
Oh, had a great pilot. Fear the Walking Dead, not so much. Not so much.
I never even tried it.
So, next up, Winona Ryder, John Turturro, Anthony Boyle, Zoe Kazan, Morgan Spector, Caleb Mellis, and Aziz Robertson will lead the ensemble cast of HBO's miniseries Plot Against America from David Simon. David Simon, of course, one of the showrunners of The Wire and The Deuce, which is why you should perhaps pay attention more than you maybe would have done.
I'm paying attention.
I was speaking to the audience.
I know. I'm just making it clear.
Based on Roth's novel, I must have cut out where his first name was, but yeah, based on Roth's novel, the 6-part series will imagine the alternative American history told through the eyes of a working-class Jewish family in New Jersey as they watch the political rise of Charles Lindbergh, an aviator hero and xenophobic populist who becomes president and turns the nation towards fascism. So this is
that doesn't sound familiar.
This is a darkest timeline kind of thing.
If that's the darkest timeline, what's this?
About 2 shades away from it, I guess, on the paint chart.
It's not that far, yeah.
It's on the same scale though, right? We're you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so there you go. Plot Against America. Next up, Cary Fukunaga and Watchmen director Nicole Kassell. Now, admittedly, we've not seen Watchmen yet, but still.
But I'm paying attention because of Fukunaga.
Yeah, are teaming up to bring The Last of the Mohicans to TV. The prospective series is based on the 1826 novel by James Fenimore Cooper. Sorry, there's 3 names there. I ended that as if it was the end of his name. James Fenimore Cooper. He hails from Paramount TV Anonymous Content and Fukunaga's Parliament of Owls. Parliament of Owls. I can't help but think about Batman now if I hear something like that. So, written by Fukunaga and Nicholas Osborne and directed by Cassell, the series will be a retelling of James Fenimore Cooper's French and Indian War novel that recenters the classic tale on an unlikely romance between Uncas, a young Mohican, and Cora, the mixed-race daughter of a British colonel. So, I have actually seen the movie, directed by Michael Mann.
Yeah, that's the last movie, because there's like 5 movie adaptations, isn't there?
Is there?
Oh yeah, there's tons. There's like 4 or 5. I think they have different like titles.
Oh sure, that's why I didn't know.
Yeah.
But Last of Us is a pretty decent movie. I watched it because I like Michael Mann. Soundtrack's pretty good.
Yeah, I really like it. It's a pretty good movie.
Has a lot of style, and admittedly we've not seen Watchmen yet, so we don't know. Maybe Cassell's done other things that we might have seen, but
maybe. It's hard to say that as well with a lot of TV directors. If they're not doing the whole thing themselves, they're usually working to an established style that typically I don't hold it against them too much, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just IMDb'ing her quickly to see if she's
worked on anything we have seen. It's quite possible because a lot of TV, like I say, you'll get them that work on an episode of a show here, an episode there, and you maybe don't always notice.
I think. Okay, she did an episode of Westworld.
Okay.
Which one was that? Episode 7. Oh, was this the Native American one?
What's it called?
No, I think this is the one after it, before it. Les Écrochets, or I don't know. I can't speak French.
It's not the Native American one, though, is it?
But yeah, you got episode of Westworld, episode of Castle Rock, couple episodes of Leftovers.
Makes sense. She's working on Watchmen then.
Episode of Better Call Saul. So
right, that's good enough for me. Every director on Better Call Saul.
It's funny though,
impeccable.
Like, she's mostly worked in TV, but she's got one movie. Put your phone away, you unprofessional.
It's away. It's just there. There's nowhere else in the room to put it. It has to go on the desk.
If I hear it vibrating,
I know.
You've made a mistake somewhere. So she's mostly worked in TV, but she did do one movie, a movie from 2004. And I've not seen this movie, but I've heard of it, and it caught my eye because I almost, I think, bought it in DVD back in like 2005. Right, it's a film called The Woodsman, starring Kevin Bacon. He's a child molester who goes back to his hometown after 12 years in prison, and I never actually got around to seeing it, but it caught my eye. I was like, oh, she did that.
Okay.
So I'd heard of that.
Even without that, there's enough TV credits there of respectable shows
Oh yeah,
that I'm relatively confident in that.
yeah. So it could be good. Could be good. Next up, Hulu is working on a series called The Dropout, a limited series about Elizabeth Holmes, which is going to star Kate McKinnon, who's going to play a disgraced tech whiz. So the prospective show is based on the ABC Radio and ABC News podcast about Holmes, who would come from Fox Searchlight TV. McKinnon's also on board as an executive producer. The title refers to the fact that Holmes dropped out of Stanford to found Theranos, a company which invented the Edison machine. Have you heard about these things?
The name rings a bell, but
It may sound familiar once I actually tell you what it is. A revolutionary diagnostic tool that promised to give patients a cheap way to test their blood for over 200 diseases at the local drugstore with just a finger prick. However, the machine did not work as Holmes claimed, and her lies allowed her to reap a fortune from investors and even appear on the front cover of Fortune magazine. Wealthy investors who fell for Holmes' scheme and poured money into the company include Betsy DeVos, oh what a shame, what a crying shame, and Rupert Murdoch. Also not upset about
it. Take their money.
Go on, keep conning these rich assholes. Do it. By all means. Jojo,
this sounds like a modern day Robin Hood movie.
It does, doesn't it? But through like a tech scheme rather than traditional Robin Hood thievery. So, Joe, I like about this is I read this and I went, this kind of sounds like I can almost see this being like The Social Network, except the thing's not a success.
Yeah,
like I can almost see her dropping it. Not that he dropped out of his school, but like,
the problem is it kind of was a success. It just didn't work.
Okay, sure, she made a lot of money off of it.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm seeing Social Network meets like Better Call Saul.
Sure, I can see that. I'm intrigued. It's interesting. I like Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
I think she's an inspired choice. It tells me that, okay, she might be kind of likable and funny, but this probably won't be as comedic as she normally does.
Probably not, no.
So, I like that.
But presumably they need someone who can pull off the charismatic comedy. Maybe that's why I went to Better Call Saul, because, Bob Odenkirk, is a very good comedy actor.
That's true.
But carries that role with a bit more seriousness almost.
Yeah. And then the final story on the news this week, Julianne Moore is signed on to star and executive produce in a drama called Lizzie's Story at Apple.
Of course.
Well, we had a lot of Disney Plus. We had to have some Apple.
Yeah,
Apple Plus.
Start with Disney, end with Apple.
Or is it Apple TV Plus? Sorry, I didn't get the name right.
That's a mouthful.
Everything's Plus now. Call it something.
Can we be almost cancelled Plus? We'll have a rebrand.
Piss off. Call it Apple Core. There you go. That's a title. It fits in with the title. It's got a cool sound to it.
The problem is, the Apple Core is the bit you throw away.
No one has to think about it that much. Shut up. And then Disney, I don't know. Disney.
I know. Do you know what? I know they trial in a handful of countries they trialed a service that was like a prototype for this without the original content, but a lot of like here's all their Disney animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Disney Life.
Yeah.
Just use that name. Just rebrand. Just use that and just go. But this is the service now.
Call it Disney Vita.
Well, then it's just going to be dead on arrival.
But Vita means life, you say. So Vita. Vita's Vita's not dead.
No, never. That was it's had a thriving, flourishing life cycle.
Oh dear. All right. So anyway, so yeah, Lizzie's Story. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah, what's it about?
Apple's given the 8 episodes straight to series order. It is based on Stephen King's 2006 book of the same name, and Stephen King will write all 8 episodes. Interesting.
Yes, I did see this actually. Now that I recall, because he's not written for TV much, I don't think.
No, it's what it even says here. It's one of the few times he's written for the screen. So he's only done it a couple of times. He's not done it a lot. J.J. Abrams and Ben Stevenson of Bad Robot Productions are executive producing along with King. So you got some names behind there that are interesting. Like, is King a good screenwriter? I don't know, but I mean it's interesting if nothing else. The series follows Lizzie, played by Moore, 2 years following the death of her husband. The series explores a series of events that causes her to begin facing amazing realities about her husband that she had repressed and forgotten. So, a little bit vague, but it sounds like there's maybe some dark stuff in the past that she's repressed on, and she's going to discover mysteries and things.
Yeah. This is another one where Apple are hardline in PG-13, aren't they?
Yeah, but it sounds like it's an R-rated.
It sounds like, maybe not R, but, you know, it's getting up there, right?
TV-14 at the very least.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Maybe it'll be kind of... I mean, maybe they're saying PG-13, but I wonder if it's actually more of a murky thing where it's like... It is more like FX, where they're allowed to have more mature content, but they've got a hard line on swearing. So it's like, they can say shit, but they can't say F-bombs.
Yeah, maybe.
I could see it being like that.
We're not getting TVMA.
No, I could see it being basic cable levels of, like...
Maybe,
yeah. No F-bombs, no actual nudity, but mature themes and some shit.
Yeah, it could be.
Whatnot.
It's just a weird thing, isn't it? That they have this hard line on there. Well, they claim it was a hard line. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense for Disney to do that because they have all these properties that are kid friendly. But like, I feel like I include Marvel and Star Wars in that. Like, they want that to appeal to everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
And they've got all those brands. I feel like Apple, to separate themselves from Disney, should probably want to go to mature content. But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I will tell Apple how to run their business. I mean, they're making a shit ton of money, so it's not like
they don't need us.
But if they want to pay me a lot for an analysis, like a report,
I've said it 1,000 times before, and I'll say it again. Apple do not make amazing devices. They make decent devices, and they have the best marketing team in the world. And that is what will make or break this streaming service, is their marketing team, as always.
Apple is the dark side.
Does that make Disney the light side?
Nah, Disney's more like...
And then Netflix are the grey?
So, if I compare this to World War II, so Apple is Germany.
What a day we're in now. Comparing streaming services to World War II.
Disney's Japan. Hulu's Italy.
I can't wait to see your logic for all of these choices.
Netflix and Amazon are the Allied forces. Netflix are Europe because they're on the front lines. They started the war.
I would say, yeah, and I would say Amazon are Russia, where
Russia?
They might often be enemies, but maybe they'll kind of have to stomp the others back down here.
Who's the US in all this then?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. This needs proper thinking out. It's the spur of the moment.
Oh dear. And then, what's a silly country that I can call CBS All Access? This subtle little wild card country that no one's really paying attention to. I don't know. I can't think of one. But
that's Switzerland, because they just don't matter.
Sure. We'll go with that. Actually, no, the one that no one really that doesn't matter at all is the Stargate streaming service that launched just to do one Stargate TV show.
Oh, I forgot that existed.
I know, exactly.
I genuinely forgot that existed.
Yes. But there you go. That is the news for this week. So yeah. So as we said earlier, it is important to mention that there will be no Game of Thrones reviews this year because Matt couldn't make the reviews and I ain't watching it. So.
Sorry, but I mean, I can tell you my quick thoughts on the first episode. You know, very quick, spoiler free.
Okay, go on.
It was fine. It was this show consistently has the most underwhelming season premieres every season, no matter what, because they go really low key with the season premieres, and every time you think maybe this year, maybe this season, this is the season where they make a statement on the first episode.
Mm.
In the final season, maybe they we've got 6 episodes, we're coming out big. Nah, No, they didn't. Everything in it was good, but it's still underwhelming.
What a shame. So there you go. Um, as for picking the best episode of TV of the week, if we're still trying to do that, I mean, what did we have?
Didn't we give up on that? I mean, we
I think
can
we
if you
did.
want. Though. We did. We did. Did we have TV this week?
We had Discovery. I mean, it's actually the other thing we should mention is that we did say we were going to do more of Warrior, which is the Cinemax show, and we fully intended on doing so. But it's it's now Monday night. We're recording this back half of the news, and it aired like 3 days ago, and we've still not had time to look at episode 2. So it's starting to feel a bit unrealistic that we're getting to it.
We might try, but no promises.
Yeah,
at this stage.
It's a bit unrealistic. I mean, Sabrina's been going up consistently. We finished the OA season 2. That's done now. We tried Black Summer from Netflix. Episode 1 review is up of that. Twilight Zone, of course, episode 3 went up, so reviews out for that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anything coming in the next week. We'll have the final episode of Star Trek Discovery season 2.
There you go. Finale's it'll be up by next week. Yep, that's true. That is true. So there you go. That's
more Hannah, but yeah.
Oh yeah, more Hannah. I mean, we should apologise because there's been a big gap between episodes 3 and 4, but 4 will be up soon. We're getting into the swing of Hannah again, starting tomorrow, recording wise. So
yeah, it's kind of got our full attention now.
Yeah. Now that OA is done, and we've wrapped up some other things. So, but that is us. So, thank you for watching. If you want to let us know what you thought of the news and the show, say down in the comments below, like and subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to support the show and the channel and everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV, where you can support us for as little as $1 per month. And for that dollar, one of the things you get is a rotating show, Almost Cancelled Extra, which rotates with 121 Extra. Almost Cancelled Extra is TV topics, 121 Extra is movie topics. The next one is a movie episode, 121, which we'll be doing soon. So you can look forward to that if you're a patron at the $1 tier. But you also get other things that are extras and bonuses, or you get some stuff early, that kind of thing. So go have a look, see. You can also buy merchandise. There's links in the description to both the US and UK stores on Spreadshirt, and you can get yourself an Mailed Fuzz TV shirt or hoodie or whatever. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. And have you got any vanilla?